Hi, Rachel.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone who might be online.
Hi, moms.
Hi, moms. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is good to be here.
it is really good to be here. And we must call the people that are out there yakking in the narthex or whatever they call it
Nora's
here.
going to go get the people who
yeah.
are yakking out there.
As you can see, this is a very casual kind of thing. This probably will not go viral.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, yonder come they. Excellent. First of all, I am really glad to be back. You know, Edmonds this is my home in a lot of ways, and you're all so deeply in my heart. Hi, sweetie. Good to see you. You going to be at choir practice tomorrow? Yes. Good. And you stay healthy, because I don't want to have to come to your house. Okay.
Well, Melanie, you're really always here.
Thank you. Thank you. I know I have a spot. I got a seat at the table here at Edmonds, and I really appreciate that. And babies, am I glad to see you. Are we in a time? Yes, we are in a time. And so Rachel and I have decided that what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about being present. And how do we do that in the face of this crazy, disturbing world? How do we stay with it? Stay with ourselves, stay with the world, stay with what's needed. How do we do that?
And stay with each other. I mean, that's really the thing. You know what they would really like is if we just caved. You know, well, then it's like, la 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 la, call me in 4 years. No, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury. And I find myself going to all kinds of places. You know, I've been called to go. I'm going to be on a bus going through South Carolina and Georgia on a civil rights pilgrimage, on a bus with Reggie Harris, a wonderful singer. And my partner said, you know, you have to be really careful because you represent everything that scares them. And I'd say, yes, I know that, you know. But one of the things that you have to remember is that you don't want to just sing with the choir that knows all the words, right? You got to go to other places. And and hook into what is happening in those communities. Because believe me, there are some serious boots on the ground happening in places that you don't even know. And that you don't even realize, in places that you think that everybody is over there. That's not true. And one of the ways that you can stay in your heart is to connect with the people that are doing the work. You got a little reading for us, baby?
Hey there.
Hi, darling. It's good to see
Welcome.
you. Yeah, this is the Homish Booker. I'm loving this. Okay.
Well, I've been actually reading and thinking about this poem for a while, and it's by Sean Parker Dennison, and it's called To Invoke Love. And from my perspective, a huge amount of our job today in this world, in this crazy history moment, is to invoke love, to bring it, Melanie.
Yeah.
So this poem has a lot to say about that. To invoke love is to ask for a hug from a thunderstorm, spill tea in the lap of the infinite trickster, to make the biggest, most embarrassing mistake of your life in front of everyone who matters. To invoke love is to never know if it will come softly with the muzzle of a beloved dog, or pounce right on your chest with the strength of a lioness protecting her cub, her pride, her homeland. To invoke love is to take the risk of inviting chaos to visit the spaces you spent so much time making tidy, and watch as the breath of life scatters everything you have only just folded and put away. To invoke love is to allow for the possibility that your words and actions might become so empowered you can no longer believe in apathy or the self-righteous idea that nothing can change. To invoke love is to give up self-deprecation, false humility, pride, to consider yourself worthy to be made whole, willing to encounter love that will never let us let each other go. To invoke love is to guard against assumptions, take care with our words, and practice forgiveness. Not as ethereal ideal, but right here in the messy midst of our imperfect lives. To invoke love is to approach each day and every person with wonder, anticipating love's arrival. Is this the moment? Is this love's grand entrance? Is this person the embodiment of love? Am I the one? To invoke love is to play the fool, for one more concerned with loving than with appearance or reputation, the one ready and willing to be vulnerable, abandoning anything that gets in love's way. To invoke love is to be ready to become love. Here, now, in everything we do. Are you ready?
That's a great piece. Oh yeah, yeah. Y'all need to put that in the bulletin or something. That's a good one. And you know, it's and it's not that namby-pamby kind of love. I was thinking, Cynthia Grace and I were talking, I thought, we need all the different kinds of love. I'm saying we need like the Black Panthers right now. I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of love for your community, that fierce, that sort of fierce, intentional attention to what do people need in this moment and in this time. Because if you concentrate on those things where you are, it makes such a big difference. Because we don't have any control of what's going on with that mess in this river of slime that we're all swimming in right now. Our job is to help keep people's head above that. That's our job, and that's that kind of love. You know, the kind of love that Martin Luther King had, the kind of love that James Baldwin had, the kind of love that John Lewis had. You know, Cesar Chavez, it's like, okay, we need to get to stepping with our people where we are. And you know, there's a lot of people that push up against that. And you've heard me speak about the Jerusalem Youth Chorus, which is a youth chorus made up of high school youth, Palestinian and Israeli kids. Just this last week, there's a big Palestinian organization, BP, I can't remember their initials. Anyway, they have blacklisted the JYC, which means
Wow.
because, and particularly they've aimed at Amr, who's their, he's there's two conductors, and he's the Palestinian. And they have threatened his family where he is. And I'm like, it breaks my heart because they think that he's a traitor because he is working with these Israeli kids. And the kids and the Palestinian and Israeli kids sing together. And I'm in touch with him. And he's just being threatened. Because they're like, why are you even dealing with these people? That kind of fierce love in a place where you are. And not a lot of people, sometimes people will just go right up in your face about it. And you have to still keep going. So that kind of maintaining, and I sent him a message. He's been listening to my song Standing Stone because the choir sings my music. And Micah called me up and told me what was happening. And so if we can really keep them in your thoughts, and when you find yourself wanting to do this, I want you to think about these kids. I want you to think about these people where they are doing what they're doing, because it's what they can do where they are. And we have to be brave in a way that we never have been. And it's hard. It's really, really hard to just be brave. And I just think about, I just was communicating with him today and just thinking, and the kids, of course, are just torn up because he's one of their conductors. And it's like, to me, I'm like, wait, this is so strange. This is the next generation. How many generations of anger and fear and madness do you want to go on? It's like the kids, they have a wonderful song called Another Way, A Different Way. And they're like, they're looking at each other saying, what kind of a world are we going to have? And what kind of world are we going to have if we don't figure this out? And if we just stop hating each other for just a little while so we can figure this out. And so in order to stay with that kind of love and in your heart, you got to be brave. And you have to create a community around you, because he wouldn't be able to deal with this by himself, because his own people are turning. But he has this other community of people that are trying to take care of him and protect him and his family, because he's just having kids sing together. Because he's using his gifts that he has where he is. And at that last bit, are you ready? He's ready. And so, I sent him a little video. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. And when you think about that, when we make a pledge to each other and to our communities, what does that mean? I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. No matter what happens, no matter how scared and terrified I get, I will be your standing stone. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. And when you think about what it is that you're saying, And that if we do that and we connect the dots in our communities where we are, to like, if Edmonds is connected to another church or another organization of all of that, that you realize that you have a web, that you're not out here. We cannot do it alone. That thing that we have in our American culture, the rugged individuals, bootstrap thing, bull hockey. It goes against our human nature. It goes against our human nature. Whenever I hear people, I'm like, so, you're completely, totally independent. Did you actually, like, make the shoes that you're wearing? Just asking, You need other people. We need other people. And everybody wants to belong to something. And when that standing stone, it's like, no matter where I got you. I am scared. I am shaking in my boots, but I got you. We need that now more than ever. More than ever. I was talking to a friend who's has a business and a family, and one of them is like his gardener, and they have a connection with each other, and they've been deported. And he was like in tears.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's gone. And I live in Oakland, and one of my neighbors in my building is a teacher in East Oakland. So they have a lot of folks that are under threat. But in Oakland, they got plans, baby. They got stuff in place. Stuff in place. Like, oh, heck no, you are not, no. You are not coming into our school, our church, our place of business, and rounding up our people. That's just not going to happen. I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. For all the people that are feeling so afraid, I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. For those who do not have a place to lay their head, I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. For the folks that are just wandering, I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. And the list can go on and on. Because if you are a living, breathing creature on this planet Earth, you are in some kind of crisis. And it's really hard to stay in your heart in the middle of all this. It's so you want to throw things at the TV. You want to just scream. It is so much easier to be angry. And there's nothing wrong with anger. But if it keeps you stuck, and it keeps you small, and keeps you immobile and unable to do something, it ain't right. And I just think about the kids in the JOIC in the middle of this madness, singing together. I think about Amar with all of this coming at him, and he's still at rehearsal with those kids. I think about Harriet Tubman going back over there to get some more people. It really is about, it is that if everybody ain't free, ain't nobody free. And we are really seeing that now. We are really, really seeing that now. But I'm telling you, we have been through rivers of slime before. I mean, we've been before. We had a time in American history where, there were many more black people in the House and government, and then Jim Crow happened. We've been through these things before. We just know a lot more now. This is not the time to hide. And that's one of the things that comes with privilege. One of the things that comes with privilege is being able to disappear. And a lot of us, the people of color, our trans folks and everything, do not have that option to disappear.
Yeah, the gardener who was deported.
That's right. It's kind of like walking around with a target on you. And so, for those of folks with privilege, this is your chance. This is your chance to not, because it's a knee-jerk reaction. Things get weird, we want to disappear. We want to hide. Understand that. But this is not the time to fall into that. This time where you got to be some serious standing stones. Everybody's got to manifest their inner Harriet Tubman. Look in the mirror. The Underground Railroad is not a historical concept. It is needed right now with that fierce kind of love. And remember, with that whole network, they didn't do it alone. There were hundreds and hundreds of people all across. Everybody was doing what they could do where they were. It is not complicated. We're like, we're all looking at people going, well, screaming, and every day it's like, what? Could it get any more weird? Yes, yeah. And it most likely will. But you have a community here. I say this every time. You have this incredible community here of hopefully awake and wakening up more. And you can do so many good things here in your community. But you've got to stay in your heart. And it's really hard. It's easy to hate. It's much easier to hate. It's much easier to hate. It's like, And when we get all twisted up and we think that things are this and things that are that and they're bad and everything, I ask a question of myself when I get twisted up. I say, wait, is it incapacitating or is it inconvenient? Those two things are very different. You know how we can get real dramatic about stuff? And I'll go, wait. It's annoying. It's not annihilating me. To find that balance. Oh Lord, hold my hand. Come on. While I run this race. Well now, oh Lord, hold my hand. While I run this race. Oh Lord, hold my hand. While I run this race. 'Cause I don't want to run this race in vain. Won't you hold my hand? Come on now. While I run this race, won't you hold my hand? While I run this race, oh, hold my hand. While I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain. Now you see these kinds of songs right here, it's like, look, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. So we have these songs that feed us and keep going, right? Because, this is not easy, people. This is some crazy stuff. Won't you hold me up while I run this race? Won't you hold me up while I run this race? Hold me up while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain. Won't you lift me up? Come on now. while I run this race. Won't you lift me up while I run this race? Lift me up while I run this race, 'cause I don't want to run this race in vain. And then we clap because we can. Thank you, babe.
Singing is always something that centers me. I remember in some major protests some years ago that I was in scary places, and it was so important to be able to sing, to be able to just, like, I would repeat the same lyrics again and again and again, you know, while the police are closing in. Anyway, it's so powerful. Song is something we do together. And I guess I think about that, you know, I think about all you've said and the idea of invoking love, and what it requires of us. That how to be centered in this moment in time, how to hold my own presence. And part of what helps me is to recognize that the people who talk about, like, government stuff, they say things about how we have to hold our center. So one of the things that I read that I'm going to share with you all that is about this, because one of the lines stays with me all the time. If they can't terrorize you 24/7 in your mind, they have already lost the war. So
Say that again.
If they can't terrorize you,
if they can't terrorize you
24/7 in your mind,
24/7 in your mind,
they have already lost the war.
They have already lost the war. That needs to go in the bulletin as well.
So that, like, the next line, this is from D.L. Mayfield, who is someone, healing is my special interest. This is on, like, Instagram or something. The single best way you can resist fascism is to not let them terrorize you constantly. Protect your mental health to ensure you are not constantly in a terrorized state. So how do I do that? So for me, that's all about to invoke, that's what the guy who's the choir director is doing. He's invoking love, right? That's what, anyone who has a heart and a brain right now is doing, is we have to invoke love. We have to embody it. We have to live it today. So that's, so then this person says, keep connecting to who you are at your core, your values, preferences, ethics, and beliefs. Build up capacity to resist. So I see that happening in our community and overall. I see that capacity starting to build. The trainings for what to do when ICE shows up at the door, how to resist in a way that won't maybe get you arrested this time if you don't or can't. And then what do we do? And then the sort of innovative things like standing with the signs outside the Tesla dealerships. To manage that sort of thing. And then I see the overlapping circles that you were talking about, Melanie, about people calling and saying, hey, did you hear about this thing that's happening? I know you belong to this church. You know, are your people organizing around this? Can we join forces doing that? And that, to me, is all part of the not being terrorized, because then I have community, and I know not only have you, but I also have a larger community, a sort of interlocking community of good people who are not going to be terrorized. And that, if we eat together, that's less terrorizing, right? Like when we get to sing together, when we sing, "Hold my hand while I run this race," that is what we need, right? We need each other. We need the spirit that holds our hand.
That's exactly right. And the thing is, folks, there's a lot more of us than there are of them.
Amen to that.
There are a lot more. And you're bad to the bone. I'm just saying. Nice work, Rachel. Yeah, bad to the bone. I love that reading, and that is absolutely right. Our mental health it is so easy to spin out. It is just really easy to spin out. And
so can I read a
please,
so there's a wee bit more of it.
Please, I'm loving this.
So one of the things that they say is, remember, they are like abusive parents. They only see us as extensions of them. They have no clue how powerful joy and community and self-expression can be. We can use this to our advantage. We can be the strong-willed child they never saw coming. Don't know that anyone in this room might have been like that at some point in their lives. Spending time connecting to your true self is not selfish in these times. It's intricately connected to a resistance movement that is tied to honoring our bodies, our communities, and to the land. We have to build capacity to resist by being exactly who we are.
Good, really. Do you see how proud Rachel is of herself? Do you see that? Yeah. There's that kid that's like, yeah, I found that.
I was that annoying kid,
Yes.
actually.
But I love that. We need annoying kids. I mean, I love that.
I'm glad, yeah.
Good on you, man. Good on you. And it's, as I mentioned earlier, there was Eze Barnwell's birthday today, and we talked about one of the things that we felt was missing in the Black Lives Matter movement, and that was singing. And so we've had long talks about that. And I got a call yesterday from, what's the name? It's the only LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ choir, gospel choir.
Oh.
And they're based in New York. And they just did a big concert, and they sang Lead with Love. They did my arrangement of Lead with Love. But there's some kind of documentary happening on Hulu, and they've been asked to sing at the end of that documentary, and they're going to be singing that song. And of course, this choir has a lot of our trans siblings in that choir, so they're just, I mean, there's a whole nother thing. Baby, we have got to throw our bodies in front of a whole lot of other. That's it, we just got to do it, And I mean, a river of us going against that particular tide is a very powerful thing.
Yes.
And this choir, they sing. That's how they get through things. And I know, did we ever do? We probably never did my song "How to Hold On." I don't think we ever did. It's really, but it's a song that I wrote that I probably get 3 or 4 calls a week for the arrangement of that, and it's a lament. And so because I think it's really important that we get together, even when we're together, that we just take a moment to just feel what we're feeling. And music is a great way to do that, because you can be there collectively. And in the African American tradition, we moan and we do those things together, so that you can bring whatever you're bringing, whatever your stuff is you're carrying. We may not know specifically what it is, but we make a place for you to bring that. And if you during the civil rights movement, and even now, when people, if you go to a church that is activated, and they're involved in what's going on politically, they'll have a rally, a meeting, and they'll sing all kinds of things, but there will be a part where they're just moaning together, and they're just moaning together, and they're just singing their what's happening. It's like, okay, because you gotta deal with that as well, so that you, as a group, and you just gotta go, and the tears have to flow sometime, and you just have to do your raging, and then you gotta put it aside and go. And that's also good for your mental health. It's like, okay, you just gotta let it go. So I'll just sing you a little bit of it, and I was just feeling one of those things, like, what's happening? And the song is it has 3 parts. It's really interesting. But I'll send you a recording of it. But it just goes like this. How to hold on, how to hold on, how to hold on in the storm. Oh, how to hold on, how do you hold on? How to hold on in the storm. How to hold on, how to hold on, how to hold on in the storm. Oh, how to hold on, how do you hold on? How to hold on in the storm. How to hold on, how to hold on, how to hold on in the storm. Oh, how to hold on, how do you hold on? How to hold on in the storm. How to hold on, how to hold on, how to hold on in the storm. Oh, how to hold on, how do you hold on? How to hold on in the storm. And of course, the answer is in just asking the question. And it's got some really interesting harmonies in it, and I just recorded it with the big choir in Minneapolis, and I've been getting calls for that song, so like whole groups of people just wanting to sing it, and the harmonies are really haunting and all that other stuff. And that was just one of those days I thought, I have to sing it out. And there never was meant to actually be an answer. But just whatever that you need to do in order to stay present, do that. Do that. we're getting close to our end time, but I want to end with this. Maybe some of you have heard it. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't
be long, we'll anchor by and by.
We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. We will stand the storm, it won't be long, we'll anchor by and by. Yes, stay here, I say, right? Every night I pray this. I pray, keep me strong in my heart, in my mind, my body, and my spirit. My heart, my mind, my body, and my spirit. Come on.
My heart,
My mind, my body, and my spirit. I love you. Glad to be back. Bye, everybody. Bye, homes. Thanks for coming, everybody. Choir tomorrow at
10:30.
10:30.
No, 10.